There are many different theories about the structure of a novel, and I don't actually adhere to any of them, except for one. That is, everything you can and will write has three parts: a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is an unavoidable reality. Your novel, of course, will have a beginning, and it will absolutely have an end. And everything in between, well, that must be the middle. So your novel will be divided into these three parts or sections, and we will borrow from the wisdom of ancient Greece and Aristotle's definition of a tragedy, which also applies to a comedy, and everything in between, in which he stated that everything, indeed, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. He described it as being divided into three acts. The first act is the beginning, the second act is the middle, and the third act is, of course, the end. Throughout this course, I will often refer to Acts 1, 2, and 3. And they could easily be called sections 1, 2, and 3, or parts 1, 2, and 3. But we will use Aristotle's precedent and call them acts. We will also divide our work into chapters. We will write 20 chapters, and each chapter will have about 2,500 words, so that you will finish this course with a complete 50,000-word novel. The chapter count and page count need to be precise in order for the class to function at its best. Once we begin, you will write a chapter every week. This means you will write 2,500 words a week. And we will break that down to a daily word count of 500 words. Meaning that regardless of what else you have going on in your life, you need to find the time to sit down and write 500 words a day, 5 days a week. In the end, your chapters don't need to have 2,500 words, and your novel doesn't need to have 20 chapters. But in order to make it through this course and finish your novel, you need to adhere to this regimen. When we're all done, you might realign your chapter breaks and decrease or increase their number. But for now, you absolutely must stay with the course. Something that new writers usually haven't considered, but all successful writers adhere to, is the need for discipline. If you want to make it through to the completion of your novel, you must take on the regimen of a professional writer and set a daily word count, and achieve that count every day. 500 words is just one page of typing, a single page on a word processor like Microsoft Word, so you will write just one page a day. If you have a busy life, having a full-time job, taking care of your family, being a full-time student, or perhaps all three, this may be demanding, but somehow you must put aside the time to write one page a day, 5 times a week. It's only one page, but sometimes that can seem like a lot. And then for some of you, 500 words a day may seem like not enough. Maybe you could write 1,000 or more words a day. And you can do that if you want. But this is very important. Do not exceed the weekly quota of 2,500 words. If you do, you will get out of sync with the course and your fellow writers, and your novel will suffer greatly. So very soon you will start with the first section, the beginning, also known as Act 1.